Hi guys, welcome back to another session, guys, where we'll be looking at the trip chart and looking at the style of questions, and then try to familiarize ourselves on how to ask questions on the trip chart or map. Now here's another example. Now this is series number 4, and we are continuing. Then I will also drop series number 5. So now let's look at this question. It says Ramon plans to travel from Collinsburg to Port Elizabeth using only national routes. Now, this is the annexure shows a trip chart of the route from Collinsburg to Port Elizabeth. Use the annexure B to answer the question that follow. So now we need to use this annexure here. So the trip it starts from which point? Therefore, it starts from this point here, which I'm going to highlight here. This is Collinsburg, and then this person will be using uh, N10, which is the national route, and then you'll be using this route, and then you'll be coming down, and then coming down to this point, and from here, therefore, you're going to be a 10, and you're going to come here to Port Elizabeth. So here are the key or the icons here. This stands for national route, R75 stands for regional route, and then where you see NP, this national park. So that's the information that we have on this question. So now let's get into the question now. What exactly are they saying in these questions? Now we're going to start. Now they say here, the first question, which is 4.11, it says here, name the national roads that Ramoni will use to travel to Port Elizabeth. So now Port Elizabeth is the one at the bottom there. So now that's what we are looking at. So now I'm going to just push it here so that all of us we can see it. So it says name the national route. So now from where? Where's Ramoni? And he stays in Collinsburg. This is the place where he stays. So now what will be the national routes therefore that he will use if he has to come here? So now if you look, this route here vertically downward, this route therefore it will be N10. That means that will be N10. Then when he gets to this T junction here, then he has to turn this side. When he turns this side, this national route here, this one it's N2. So this will be, and you say N2. So that should be your answer therefore for this question. Okay, moving on now to the next question. Therefore, it says which national park is furthest from the N10? So we need to look for a national park. So remember, in national park, the icon for national park it's what NP. These are a national park. So this is what they're talking about. So, but they say which one is the furthest, meaning that it's far away from the national road. Now let's look which one our national park. Therefore, here. So now if we look and we start this, therefore we can see that we have mountain zebra and we also have outdoor elephant. So now where is our N10? Our N10 is this side. So now between mountain zebra and this one elephant, which one is the furthest from this road here? So now you need to look at these numbers here. So this number is 24 and this one is 25. What does this number now mean? They signify about they tell us about the distance between from the national road to this part here. So this is the distance from these two. So now which one is the furthest therefore? And then the one that is far is going to be the one here at the top, which is mountain. Yeah, zebra and P. That one is the furthest. I mean from N10. So that one is the furthest. It's 25. While this one is 24. This one is closer to the national road. And now moving on to the next part. This says Ramon meet a friend in Peterson, who has to travel 61 kilometers via the R, which is 336, which is the regional route again from his hometown. From his hometown. So now this is named the. Now, where did he meet the friends? For the friend was met where at Peterson. Now here's Peterson. Now here's Peterson here. Now if you look, this is the place. He met his friend here on this point, and therefore he has to via what? Which route that he needs to via? He needs to via this route, which is R 336. Here's the road here. This is the road that he needs to via. He needs to take this route. So you need to take this route. And now there we are told that he from there he have to travel how many kilometers? He have to travel 61 kilometers. Now fully. So we from Peterson here. So the distance if he enters this part here, so we're gonna have a distance of how much therefore let's check the distance and verify if the distance is going to give us 61. So we're gonna verify, we say 24 plus if you come this side is 8, then this is going to be 8, and then from there if we come this side, if we add this if we add these distances here, these are distances. So if we add these distances, therefore they give us, this portion give us, therefore they give us 61 kilometers. So now where will be the friend's hometown? Therefore that means you're going to end here. That means this is the town that they're referring to. So the name of the friend's town therefore is going to be Kirkwood. So therefore this is will be Kirkwood. So that's where the friend's town is. So that's your answer for that one. So we have verified it by just adding these distances that we have seen there. Moving on now to the next part, calculate the distance between the two national parks. So calculate the distance between the two national parks. So we've already mentioned the two national parks. So the first one starts from here. And then if it starts from here, it goes this side. That means we have about the distance, therefore, is going to be how much, therefore, from starting from the mountain zebra. And then the distance from here to here is about 25 kilometers plus. And what will be the distance from here? From this point here, the distance from this point here coming down here at this point here, we can see that the distance therefore there is going to be a difference of the distance of 27 minus, let me put that into bracket, minus 22, then plus, and then plus, then the distance from here going inside therefore is going to be 24. So now if we add these, it's going to give us, yeah, if you subtract this one here, it's going to give you about 185. Then if you add everything, therefore the distance that you're supposed to get, it's supposed to give you 234 kilometers. So that's the distance between the two national parks from here to this point. So you're going to add that. So but if you didn't find the difference, so the difference therefore is about 185 kilometers from here to here. And then this side, and also the same thing, you can also use these 2 points here. You can use also these points here, you'll get the same distance. Now moving along, therefore this is your answer therefore you need to get. But now let's look at the next question. Next question says here, if Ramon left Collinsburg at +9 and drove straight to Port Elizabeth using only the national roads, determine what would be his arrival time if he did not meet his friend and was traveling at an average speed of 120. And they say he stopped once during the trip for 30-minute break. So now this is the departure time. And then if he drives straight, so now that means if he drives straight without turning up around, checking on twice, that means he use only national roads. So what would be national roads? If he use only N10 and N2, he use only those two national roads. And then we are told that to calculate his arrival time, therefore if we use those two national roads. So the taking into account that if he traveled by 120, which is normally the speed limit on the national road, so he kept the speed, was driving at the speed. So now what will be his arrival time? And take into account also that he had a break. He took a break of 30 minutes. So what would be his arrival time? But now we need to calculate. First of all, we need to find what the distance that is going to travel from Collinsburg to this point here, to Port Elizabeth. So we need to find that distance. So now if we look carefully, on this. So here is Collins. So Collins is starting from zero from here, this 0. And then if we move down, then we move down vertically here. So what will be the distance from vertically to come here? This will be the distance if we start from this side. And we can read the distance from the left here. So the distance from here coming down here is a distance of how much, therefore. We're looking for a distance that he needs to travel from Collinsburg and Port Elizabeth. So the distance from, if we look at on this left hand side, therefore, you will see that the distance is about 402. So that means the distance from here on this N10, he will travel 402 kilometers. And then from here, he needs to turn this side. And then he needs to turn this side. When he turns this side, here is Port Elizabeth. So there's this distance here of 36 and this distance of 20. That's when you're going to get to Port Elizabeth. So we need to add 36 plus 20. So this gives us a total distance of how much, therefore, if we add. So this gives us a total distance of 458 kilometers. So that's what we are getting from there. So that will be the traveling distance from between those 2 points. So now if we continue, now we find now the time, the travel. What we need to do now, we need to find the traveling time. So if what would be the traveling time? The traveling time is what we're going to use. We're going to use this formula here. The formula says what? So the formula says what? Distance, which is 458 divided by the speed. The speed, they say, if he will be traveling with an average speed of 120. So now what will be the time that he will be using for traveling? Therefore, I'm sure that in your calculator, if you divide this, maybe you'll get something that will look like this: 229 divided by 60. So remember, this is still a improper fraction, so you need to press ST in your calculator. So when you press ST in your calculator, so this is what you will find. Therefore, I'm sure you're going to get something that will look like 3 comma let's do that, 3,81667. So this is what you're going to get in your calculator. But if you get something like this, so if you're using a Casio calculator, there's a pattern that has degrees there, or at the top of that pattern is written fact. So if you write that, if you press that pattern while you are still here, so it's going to give you something that will look more like 3, then with a degree, and then like this, and then after that it's going to give you something like 49 degree, and then from there it's going to say 00. So now when you write it like this, the 3 here is the full hour, so this one a minute, the seconds therefore is going to be 0. So that means this, it means that therefore the traveling time is going to be 3 hours and 49 minutes. So that will be the traveling time. So, but did we solve the question now by doing this? No, we have not solved the question yet, because the question was asking us to calculate the traveling time. So, but how do we calculate the traveling time? So it means that we need to use this time now. So we have used that distance and the speed to calculate the time. So that's what we've done. The reason why we calculate distance, we need to use it to calculate the time traveling. So now we're going to look at this now, the time of departure. So the time of departure, therefore, it says what? He left at what time? At 5 past 9. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add the traveling time here. We're going to add the traveling time. So we're going to add the traveling time. So what was the traveling time, therefore? The traveling time, we're going to add it here. When we add traveling time, remember we have 3 hours, 3 hours, and also how many minutes there? We have 49 minutes. If we add this, so what will be the time then? For if we add from the time of departure, so now we are going to get something that will say, if you add this, if you add the minute, these are the minutes this side. So add the minute. So how much do you get therefore? You're going to get something like you're going to get 54 minutes. And if you add this side, it's going to be 12. So this will be 6 minutes to 1. And remember, this is the time of traveling. That means if he only traveled without stopping, that means he would have arrived at this time. If he just drove once and then without stopping, he would have arrived at this time. But there was a break that he took of also how much? He took a break. There was a break along the way. So we need to add the break. Now the break, it was how much? Therefore, it was 30 minutes. So you need to add those 30 minutes. So when you add those 30 minutes, we add a minute with a minute. Remember that. So when you add those break, therefore, this will give us 84 minutes. So in this 84 minutes, we need to take 60 minutes. So when you take out 60 minutes, therefore, you're going to take 60 minutes, and you're going to remain with 24 minutes. So the 24 minutes, you're going to write it here. This will be 24 minutes. So the 60 minutes is an hour. You're going to transpose it to this side. When you transpose this side, therefore, it's going to be 30. So this will be the time of arrival. This will be the arrival time. So this will be, he will get there at 24 minutes past 1. So that will be the arrival time. Or you can, someone else maybe might write it differently. Maybe they may write it as 1:24, but this will be PM. So that will be your answer for this one. That means this will be the time that he arrived. So that's where we end, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and for lasting until up to this time. Please make sure that, guys, you like and share and subscribe, guys, to the channel. And then if you want to see more of these kind of videos. Now, thank you, guys. Please, you can also comment and let me know if it has helped you. Thank you. And also, yeah, just drop the location where you are from, so that we can also know we are reaching which areas. Thank you very much. See you next time.